Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our information session. And I really value and am excited to share with you tonight my story. The person who invited you, I know, love you and are excited to share something with you. And so tonight's going to be special because I'll be sharing my story. I'm Talita Minnie. I live in the Rockhampton, Queensland, and I have 3 boys and an amazing husband. And really, they're a huge part of my story. So, sharing with you, I started this journey, way back 10 years ago when my oldest was born. So, my oldest was born with a lot of challenges, especially health. And so, we've been on this journey to try and help him in many different ways. We haven't always had the right advice, or we've done a lot of research, but some things helped and some things didn't. One of the things we did struggle with though was sleep and energy and just being able to cope through the day. And then also as he got older, he struggled with focus and learning at school. So there was many different challenges we were faced with. Through this journey, I have learned a lot about health, and I've learned about how to look after our bodies, how to reduce toxic input. So we cut out on a lot of things like sugar and preservatives and additives. But one of the things that through my journey I hadn't realized or had known of is something called oxidative stress. So when a friend of mine, a lovely teacher on the Yeppoon Central Queensland coast, was talking about oxidative stress, it kind of got my attention because I'd never heard of it before. So what I did was my research, and I reached out to her and said, "Can you please tell me more what you're talking about?" As we all do, we get curious, and I'm so grateful for that because she was able to share with me that oxidative stress has been linked to so many illnesses and diseases as a root cause. And that really got me. I'd been looking for ways to try and help my son learn at school better and focus and just cope better with life. My husband was struggling with sleep and stress and just, the pressures of life gets to you sometimes when you're trying to be an amazing dad and just work hard. And so as a mum and wife, I really wanted to help my family. Going through this journey, we decided to trial the products. I did the research and I put my husband on the products as a guinea pig, as you do. He has he's a lot more focused in feeling his body. So he knew that if he was going to try something, he would feel the difference. So we started with the NRF2, which we will talk about tonight. And his body went through an adjustment period. So some people in their past, or if there's something hindering them, excuse me, I know this is a bit itchy. If something's hindering them, they might find that by starting the products and activating the body, their body adjusts. And so he's been exposed to a lot of chemicals and different industries he's been working in. So agriculture, he works now out at the mine. So he works on a lot of equipment and oils and diesel and lots of things that has very high toxic levels. And so being able to get his body into an adjustment period and just to be able to then start feeling better and focusing more and having more energy and recovering better, those things got me really excited because I'd been doing the research and what I was reading got, it got really good, but you don't really know until you try. So seeing the results for ourselves, we decided to take the plunge and jump in as a family. So we've been doing the products and using the tablets and also our skincare and hair care for the last almost 3 years. And it's been a journey. We've had my boy at school, the oldest especially, has had a lot of improvement in his focus and learning. And my middle one's anxiety has improved. But there's so many things that we don't even notice as we go along this journey. So today I'm going to share with you why this is so important for every person to know about, because we talk about root causes. We talk about things that affect our body in a positive and negative manner. So if you can think of life, we have different things that affect us on purpose, things that we have control over. So we choose the food we eat, but we don't really choose the soils our food is in. We don't choose the environment that we live in all the time. We don't have control over the quality of the water. So there's many things that hijacks our body. Those things take over and that it's for a destructive purpose. So we are 24 hours being hijacked by physical, emotional stresses, biochemical toxins, and one that is really becoming important is EMFs. So that's, your Wi-Fi and radiation and 5G and a lot of other things. And allergies. So allergies is becoming really prevalent. All those things hijacked our body, and we don't want that. But there's something we can do about it. And it's probably a word that is quite new to everyone. It's called biohacking, but the idea comes from years and years and years ago. So, I think back to my grandmother. She drinks half a lemon in the morning with water. That's a biohack. She's helping her body neutralize. Or she goes walking every day, or we go walking every day. That's an on purpose decision to optimize our potential in health. So biohacking means taking control of your own biology and making decisions to be, to better and improve our health. Another way we can biohack is optimizing our genetic potential. So this is something that is quite new to everyone, and it was new to me too. I always thought if my grandmother had heart disease, which she does, my grandfather had heart disease, the chances of us getting it is quite high. But it may not be the case. The case is that we have a choice to help our health and to make the right decisions. And then we can also help optimize our genetic potential. So becoming the best versions of yourself means using different things and different techniques. And one of them is using a technique called nutrigenomics. It's a new field, but what it is all about is research into how nutrients and natural compounds affect our genes. We always thought that genes were, like I said, as is. We've now found that 95% of your genes can actually be expressed in a positive and a negative manner, which means that if you were to eat a burger every day, your genes will go negatively. You can only imagine what will happen. We are what we eat. But if you were to make on purpose decisions, it actually affects your genes in a positive manner. It helps regulate them in a better manner. So, what causes oxidative stress? This is an interesting word, but what it is very simple. If you imagine, like everything I said with hijacking, it's the food we eat, the stress we have, the water we drink, the Wi-Fi, the radiation, anything around you that isn't really good for you, that causes free radicals in your body. And those free radicals bump against your cells and make your cells start to rust or break down. So the rusting is called oxidative stress. So it's when your body is affected by a high amount of free radicals that damage your cells, you start to get rusting. And that's like an apple. You cut it open and you leave it on the bench. As it browns, it oxidizes. So with this in mind, what does it do? Well, is it normal? Yes, it is. Oxidative stress is actually a part of the aging process. But what we don't know, and what we also have just recently discovered, for me especially, is that when our body is imbalanced with oxidative stress, which means that we have a higher amount of free radicals than what is a normal healthy amount, it starts to affect every single part of our body. It affects our cells, our structures, our tissues, organs, systems, organisms. You can only imagine if you have a high level of oxidative stress, or if you've got a high amount of rusting in the body just doesn't sound good, does it? So these are just some of the things, and you can see here on the left-hand side, some of the things that may happen with your higher levels of oxidative stress. So do you think it's a good idea to reduce it? Definitely. What's the solution? We have different solutions, and we've always been told eat high antioxidant foods because they're good for you. Did you know that your antioxidants are actually responsible for neutralizing free radicals? That's the reason why we have to eat it. I didn't. Maybe it's just me under a rock or something, but I understood that it was important, just not how important. Now, something that no one really knows about is the fact that direct antioxidants, when you start to eat them and you look at the relationship between antioxidants and free radicals, it's a 1-to-1 ratio. So one free radical to one antioxidant molecule gets eliminated. So it's kind of like a relationship between the two. Now, if you can imagine that you can eat healthy all day, it's really not enough to reduce the amounts that you really need to make an impact. To give you an idea, a punnet of blueberries, that's about 6,700 antioxidants in a punnet. And Another thing to imagine is that if you have a cell, you've got trillions and trillions of free radicals around that cell. So is direct antioxidants enough? No, it's not. What else can we do? And as you can see on the right-hand side of these pictures, there is something called NRF2 activation. Now, this is actually something that's very, very special. It is your gene pathway, or it is a switch in your pathway that you turn on. So this gene pathway was discovered in 1994. The first study came out in 2004, so that's why it's quite new. If you think about, well, why haven't I heard of it before? This is why. It's very new to this world. However, we have a lot of research and development into the science behind NRF2. And what they have found was that once activated, it eliminates 1 million free radicals. And so that's huge. That's per cell. So it turns on your own body's production of catalase, glutathione, and SOD. So if you do like research, write down those names, because that's something that I would highly suggest you go and research, especially glutathione. There's some amazing things that glutathione is responsible for. So when you switch this pathway on, it is like turning on a hose to a fire, or, you know, in Australia's term, maybe a helicopter over the fires compared to a little truck. It's just huge. So this is something that we want to make sure that we can use our ability and our body's ability to switch on and fight fires more than what our food can do. So what does the research say about NRF2? It may well become the most extraordinary therapeutic and the most extraordinary preventative breakthrough in the history of medicine. That's a huge statement. And that's actually done by the Washington State University. So this is a study on NRF2. And the reason why it's so important is because once you activate it, it's such a huge difference to your body's oxidative stress levels and free radicals. It can actually start combating it way more efficiently than what food can. So Protandim NRF2 synergizer is actually proven in a US study to reduce oxidative stress by 40% in 30 days. That's a huge number. To this date, there is nothing else that can reduce it at that levels, because it's your own body doing it. So it supports the natural cell repair and rejuvenation process. And there's a US study that was done, a government-funded study on all natural products you can probably imagine, that to see if anything could extend life. And through that process, they looked at resveratrol, they looked at turmeric, excuse me, frog in my throat, and they looked at lots of different natural products. But what they found was that there was nothing that could extend life except for Protandim, and that by 7%. I'm really sorry, I'm coughing in everyone's. I might just have to stop, pause, and cough for a bit. If you can just pause for a minute. I'm sorry, I have a tickle in my throat that wouldn't go away. All right, and we've jumped out. Resume later. There we go. So turmeric, milk thistle, sorry, green tea, ashwagandha, copra. They're the 5 ingredients that are in Protandim in very small amounts. So if you look at Protandim as a whole, what is so special about our product? You can get these products on the market. You can find turmeric in your normal Woolies. You can find milk thistle, green tea, ashwagandha, bacopa. What makes ours unique? Well, NRF2 can only be switched on by a certain synergy of these products. So green tea, turmeric, and all the rest, they can't actually switch on the pathway effectively. So if you have a look up on this little bar, it actually shows you the effectiveness of the regulation of this pathway, and then some of them together. But it's only in the perfect synergy that you can see all the products are activating the pathway 18 times more than some on their own. And we also have the BSCG approval and TGA approval, which means that we have the Therapeutic Goods of Australia and the Banned Substances Control Group. Now, what does the science say about this? So we have many studies that have been conducted worldwide. Some of them have been done, actually most of them have been done independently, and they're all featured on a website called PubMed. So this company has done its first 3 studies when we first started to get the information out to the world. And since then, we have had many well-known institutes who have done their own research. So if you're someone who loves science, go look up on pubmed.gov. This is the validated science, the gold standard. This is where you would go if you wanted to find out, if your doctor wanted to find out information. So all the studies on here have to be peer-reviewed before they're published, and it takes a big, long process. So we have been very honoured to have 26 peer-reviewed studies on PubMed, and we've also been featured in many, many journals, including the Circulation Journal, which is the American Heart Association journal. And as you can see, it's probably the biggest heart association in the world. And they don't usually feature natural health products. So they have actually featured our product in their journal, which is a really big honor. So we talk about biohacking, and there are many different ways we can biohack. And so there are also many different pathways we can biohack. So on this journey, we actually found a way to turn on or switch on your NRF1 pathway. This pathway is responsible for your mitochondria. Has anyone heard of mitochondria before? If you haven't, you think back in science, you might have learned about little engines running around your cells. Well, they're responsible for your metabolism. They're also responsible for turning the food you eat into usable energy for your body. So now today, a lot of research is coming out between mitochondrial dysfunction, things that are linked to mitochondrial dysfunction. So another word, write up mitochondrial dysfunction and go look it up. So if you go look up those words, I'm sorry, you can actually find out that there are many different studies and research into why having a healthy mitochondria is important. So what we do is we switch on the NRF1 pathway, which is responsible for regulating your mitochondria, helping healthy mitochondria stay healthy, and then getting rid of the ones that aren't working well anymore. That's also very important. Together, they're a perfect dual synergizer. So NRF1 on its own, we do not recommend taking, because it's like a car. Once your engine starts, it actually has a byproduct. So it has an exhaust, and it, pumps out the fuels or the fumes. So this is something that I would suggest you all, to try, because it has helped my family. My husband has had huge success with his weight. Now, I'm not going to say this is a weight loss product at all, because your mitochondria works uniquely. And so everyone's body is different, and this is something that he has experienced. And then we've had some amazing help with my son as well. So definitely worth trying the two together, because it's optimal health. You're helping the cell's engine, and then you're also helping your cells reduce that toxins and also the oxidative stress or the damage from the free radicals, which are both very important. As you can see, we've got the 5 ingredients again, and that makes up your NRF1. The third thing that we really like to focus on is gut health. So as you would know, gut health is very vital and has got a lot of research behind it these days. And it's actually been something that's been around for a long time too. Some of the signs that your gut might not be as well might be digestive problems, brain fog, mood. So your serotonin is actually made in the gut, which means you might not have a happy hormone going on, or food cravings, so weight balance, imbalance of gut bacteria. And then also poor sleep. So you got less serotonin if you have less melatonin, which is really, really important relationship between the two. So what can you do about it? You can use a probiotic. You can actually help support your gut health by using a quality probiotic. What is the difference between ours and many on the market today? Ours has a very unique system, and it's actually a BioTrack system. So what we do is we take a capsule that can actually uniquely control release this product that has very highly well-researched strains into your small intestines before releasing. Why is that important? When you take a normal probiotic, it dissolves about 7 minutes, which means it hits your stomach and dissolves. Problem is, your stomach is so acidic, most of your survival of your good bacteria, you might only have a 5 to 6% survival rate that goes through the small intestines. So this is something that is very unique in our product, that we can actually take this through the stomach into the small intestine before it actually releases. And the other thing that's really interesting is beta-glucan. So beta-glucan is clinically proven to enhance your digestive system. And it's something that we suggest people look up because it's got some really, really exciting studies on it. And the other thing is it is actually a prebiotic as well. So not only does it give you good bacteria, but it actually feeds your good bacteria. The bottle is also a desiccant bottle, which means that it is safe from heat and moisture. So you can have that bottle sitting on your shelf or next to your bedside table and take it every night. The product is freeze-dried, so it doesn't need refrigeration as well. This is our activated essentials. It's the three-part system that helps optimal health. It helps with your cells, combat free radicals, enhances energy levels, and then the third one is probiotic, which is optimal digestion. So together it's 190 with free shipping. And that's a huge savings. If you look at the products individually, you'll actually find that this is a huge savings on your products monthly. My family are all on all three products because we've experienced benefits by using all three. And I know that there's not just one thing in life that is a miracle, or even these products. We don't claim to treat, cure, or prevent any disease. But all we do ask, though, is if you're going to trial it, give it at least a month for every decade of your life. So if you're 40, at least 4 months. Or if you're 50, at least 5 months if you're healthy. If you're unhealthy, of course, you've got to remember how long it's taken you to get that way, and that you need to give your body time to start healing or start reversing the effects and working on the cell health to improve your life. So True Science is a product we developed after the NRF2 was brought to the market. It's actually an NRF2 activator for your skin. Now, your skin is the largest organ in the body, and it's also been exposed to many things like radiation, pollution, and all these things, of course, affect skin. So the reason why it was developed is because we had the Skin Cancer Foundation do a study on NRF2, and they found that it had a huge impact on melanoma. So they came to us and said, you guys have this amazing product on the inside that does this to melanoma. Why don't you have a skincare range? So we developed the skincare range because of that reason, and it's incredible. I actually really love it. Before I was actually introduced to Lifevantage, I was using much of all because I really tried to stay away from the toxic chemicals in most of our normal products, but I didn't know which one to actually try that was safe. So with this product, all our products have been tested and tried, but then the really interesting thing is there's an app called Think Dirty. If you haven't heard of it before, you can actually go look up all your household products or your household beauty products to see what rating is on there. And you'll find that some things are a 1 to 2 to 3, which is safe, but anything over 4 is probably something you don't want to use on a regular basis. So with our 4-part system, we have a facial cleanser. My husband actually uses it for shaving even and doesn't get any ingrown hairs, so that's something really nice. Perfecting lotion helps even skin tone and blemishes. Your eye serum helps with your prebiotics around the eyes. So it actually feeds the good bacteria around your eyes. And then the anti-aging cream is the hero of them all. So that's a product that has the NRF2 in it, and it activates your skin. It balances your pH, and it has a huge effect on your skin. And of course, this system probably lasts me about 3 months. Some people last 4 months, some people 2, depending on how heavy-handed you are. Some of the results that we have from using these products. So as you can see, the boy at the top, James, he fell into a fire and burnt his forehead. That was 7 days after trying. Horses, so all mammals have NRF2, dogs, cats, cows, and they don't have placebo. So if you've got an animal that is struggling, give them Protandim to see what happens, or use a skincare. There are many people that we know personally and around us, and also amongst our friends and family, that have had results using the skincare. I just love the fact that it's natural and it lasts a long time. So if you divide, a $200 set amongst 3 months, it's actually a very high quality system for a very low price. The hand cream. So this is something, if you know your distributor or someone who invited you today and they live close to you, ask them if they have a hand cream that you could try. This stuff is amazing. It goes into your skin, it's not oily, and it just feels like you've got new, fresh skin every time you put it on, and has an incredible odor. Like, it's a beautiful fragrance. So the hand cream is $19, and of course, as you can see, it's Think Dirty is 0 as well. And then the last product, which I actually love just as much, is the hair care system. So have you ever looked at what hair care you're using and how safe it is for you? Did you know that your scalp absorbs chemicals 5 seconds once it's been on the scalp? Your skin takes 20 seconds. So it's twice as fast or 3 times as fast as what your skin is. And so it's really important to look at what you are putting on your scalp. This 3-part system has been developed to actually activate the NRF2 pathway again. And we've also won the Stevie Silver Award, which is like the Logies. It's a very prestigious award to have for our company as well. Those bottles, they last me about 3 months, and that's with my boys using it and my husband using it every now and then as well. So it's definitely worth trialing the skincare and the hair care. They will last you a lot longer than a lot of the other products that you use, and they are healthy for you as well. The results, again, in themselves are astounding. This is an 8-day clinical study we did, and so it's an independent study we got a company to do for us to see what was the difference between using the hair care before and then after. So 8 days, these ladies came back with less hair breakage, reduction of scalp dryness, increasing hair volume, hair shine, and damaged hair structures. But the stories really shine out again. So these stories are from people who have used them. They are people we know, people whose friends are friends. We even have some people locally who have trialed it and have had amazing results. We can't guarantee that it's for everyone because we know, like everyone else in all these products, it's switching on your body's pathway. So you're switching on your scalp or your insides or wherever you're, whatever product you're using. So it's unique to what your results will be. But I know with my hair, it's a lot shinier and it has fallen out less since using it as well. Especially after my 3rd son, I was breastfeeding a lot. And then when I stopped, I just started losing hair and I couldn't stop. So this is just something that I've experienced, but everyone's different. So we finish off with these slides, and this is this. Lifevantage is the leader in this new medical field, breakthrough science called nutrigenomics. If you can imagine iPhones, iPhone 1, not many people had one because they just didn't know what it was. By the time iPhone 3 came out, everyone knew what it was, and there were a lot of companies replicating them and trying to get on the market. By iPhone 4, actually, iPhone 4, most people had a smartphone. It was, quite popular, and if a company didn't get in by then, it was really hard to actually get in and bring in new phones. So what does that say? It actually shows you how momentum works. Momentum starts slow. People are really sketchy. They're not really sure if it's going to work. But by the time momentum happens and it's in full swing, it's too late. So looking at this, we are a company who has been around for more than 10 years. We are traded on NASDAQ. So we actually have all our numbers. We are very clean and open, and we have to be because we're traded on NASDAQ. And so when you look at this as an opportunity, I saw this as a great opportunity because I had family and friends who just were struggling with their health, same as what we were. They didn't know what oxidative stress was. So if I was the one telling them, I thought this might be something that they want to try at least. And it may actually help them in their health. And then some people might want to actually share it with their family and friends. So in Australia, we've got an average of about 3,000 active distributors, which is not even close to what a market should be. So there's a huge potential for you to share it with your family and friends for the first time. But as you know, things happen and things move forward. So it's whether it's your choice whether you want to share it with them today or whether it's too late and they already know about it by the time you do share it with them. You can also build your business globally, which is really exciting for me. And one of the big validations we have is Erin Brockovich. So Erin Brockovich, as you all know, has been in many movies, or there's a movie made for her. But she joined our company's board of directors about 7-8 months ago. How exciting is that? So Erin Brockovich actually joined this company because of what we stood for and where we were going. And she's someone who has an incredible validation behind her. She doesn't just jump on something. And the other interesting thing is she's the first female board of director. So with this in mind, where are you today? How far can this take you? Is this information just something that you need to know of, or are there people around you that really need to know about this? If you are going to share it with someone, this is an average of our commissions. So this means by rank, it's averaged out on each level. It doesn't mean this is what you will get. This is for the work you put in. This is what you potentially could be earning as you share with your family and friends. So as a Pro 3, you're looking at covering your family's product plus a bit more. But by the time you hit Pro 4 and 5s, you are looking at a full-time income or a part-time income, depending on what you earn. And then as you move up, there is huge potential for growth. But it's all about what you put in is what you will get out. So looking with that in mind, it may not be for you that you want to share it with everyone. You just want to maybe refer it to your person who shared it with you. You just want to share your friends and family to them and just say, look, this person's interested, please talk to them. And by all means, we're more than happy to support you in this journey of just referring. But as a customer, you don't have to worry about the business or any part of the business. All you have to enjoy is the products and the benefits they can give. So what do I need to do to become a customer? You just need to order. That's it. You need to jump online like any other website we, order stuff from today, and you need to order your products. You do, however, have two options. You can go retail or wholesale. Now, wholesale means that you are ordering at a monthly rate, which means that every month you commit to ordering your products, which ultimately is the best option because you want to use it for at least 4 to 6 months to start feeling the benefits. And then if you want to stop at any time or you want to defer your order or change your order, you can do that. There's no commitment to changing, cancelling, or anything like that. It's just to choose the cheaper option. So if you decide you wanted to buy 3 months now and then order in 3 months' time again, you're more than welcome to order now and cancel, or just, put a 3-month order in every 3 months. Really is up to you. But if this is something that is a bit more interesting than just being a customer, I would highly, highly suggest and recommend that you talk to the person who invited you today. The reason being is we have so many different options, but these packs is how you start your business. With the investment of $850 or $1,699, you actually earn and buy your own business. This is a once-off purchase of bulk product. So if you know that you and your family want to use this products for at least 6 months to give it a good trial, then the Platinum Pack would be the best option for you, because we know the skincare takes about 3 months to 4 months to use. The hair care takes about the same. So you have enough product there to give it a good 6-month trial and know if this is something that you're definitely keen on. While you're doing that, you can share it with your family and friends, invite them to a presentation like this and see if this is something that's interests them. The exciting thing also is we have our shipping, our advertising, our marketing, our legal and compliance. Everything is supported. So when you purchase this business and this pack, you actually get your website ready to go. And to me, the exciting part is you actually get a team to support you. We have an incredible team that will support you and guide you along your journey and run next to you or walk next to you, whatever pace or speed that you feel comfortable doing. So with that in mind, I just wanted to finish off with this one last little study. It actually says that when it finds a problem, NRF2 essentially goes back to the cellular nucleus and rings the alarm bell, where it can turn on up to 200 genes that are responsible for cell repair, detoxification of carcinogens, protein and lipid metabolisms, antioxidant protection, and other actions. In their report, the scientists called it the longevity assurance factor. That's huge. To me, that says more than what everything else I said today. So if it's just for you to look after your own health, do it for yourself or do it for your family. Try the products, experience the benefits, and then if you love it, start sharing it. If you want to stop, you can stop. But all I ask is look into the information, go back to the person that's talked to you into jumping on tonight, and just give them feedback on how you found this information. So thank you so much for jumping on. I'm going to stop the share.